broadcast machine, 24/7 days a week. A social media stream, we are not corporate. We're indie to the core, free to do our own thing. We are who we are, and we are Pack Stereo. We are the new view. We are Pack Stereo. We are the new view. We are Pack Stereo. We are the new view. We are Pack Stereo. We are the new view. We are Pack Stereo. We are the new view.
Good evening and welcome everyone to tomorrow's Magic Mixtape. And it's a wonderful show I have planned for you tonight. A show that is actually nostalgic and reminiscent for me. I'm trying to get we have a few technical issues, of course, but I'll work that out as we're going along. Tonight, special show because it's nostalgic in that I'm going to be reviewing the first CD that was ever produced here at Pack Stereo TV. The Hemsley Foster Project, Believer. Now, there's a long story. I had to laugh because Vic and I know that there was a long journey indeed, and that's part of the reason why it's so cool to be here today, is because previously, in the old days, we wanted to first get started. It was a few of us, and we wanted to be songwriters, and we were attempting to. Oh, here we go. We're attempting to attract individuals to come and create with us. And at that time, we kind of felt like we had an uphill battle because we couldn't dance, we couldn't sing.
I don't know about you. I can dance. I don't know about you, bro.
Well, we do. Hey, we thought we felt like we could write songs, right, Vic? We felt like we could write songs.
Well, you can feel anything. You just got to do it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we started writing some songs and doing some things, and that way we started building up the studio, and slowly but surely we began to meet some musicians. And because of that outreach, Pack Stereo, the independent music label, was born. Wow. What year was this, Vic? 1992, approximately.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere in there, man.
Approximately.
Yeah.
For me, a lot of it came to be when I joined up with Irvin Foster. And we, two of us, established the Hemsley Foster Project.
Right.
It's kind of amazing. We just were working, trying to do some things, and finally we decided to do a CD.
Right.
The first one was Believer. Now, why Believer? Because I guess it was sort of a testimony to our spiritual side and the journey. But while we were making Believer, Vic, you were working on a CD too in an upcoming series.
Right.
We're going to get a chance to go do that too.
Yeah.
Let me play for you the title song from the CD, Believer. Oh, Lord, here goes my computer. I'm telling you.
Yeah, the attack is on, right, man?
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know it happened about 5 minutes before you went officially live. I just couldn't warn you, man. You was already in the mix. Got to go to Plan B, man.
Here. That's all right. I'm ready with my Believer.
Yeah.
I'll play it off of my iPad.
Well, as long as it is, I mean, it works that way. So let me say, thematically, this is kind of looking at the record label days of Pack Stereo, much less the album projects. So are we taking a trip back in time?
Well, this whole show is dedicated to
what
Believer.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Back in the record label days.
Here we go.
Then you showed me what your love was all about. Trust and you receive.
Stereo Friday Night Agenda. That's the Hemsley Buster Project. That's right. I said it right. Hemsley Foster Project. I was one half. This is the very first CD. Believe Her. Say somebody please. Changed my life. Testifying. Eddie Darrell Williams in the chat room. One of the original Pack Stereo members. And take us back to the old days. This song was done on an 8-track. Not the kind you guys think about riding in the car. Quarter-inch 8-track, Fostex. One sync track. Yeah. One thing about me back then, I didn't know how to end the songs. we were new songwriters. Yeah. we were getting the songs together, but we were just really learning how to do intros. So one of the things that we tended to do was have some drawn out endings. And back in those days, remember we used to think about how people would do like fade outs, right? At the end of the song.
Right.
It would just like fade out.
Yeah.
So we didn't know how to end. We figured we would fade it out.
Just turn the volume down, bro. That's all. Yeah, that's all we had to do.
The blessing about this is, you guys, because of these early tracks and our efforts on the former MP3.com, which at the time was a breakout place for indies to do their music, we experienced our first successes. Over 400,000 downloads of our music. 400,000. And so that was some of our early successes. And I was actually, at this time, it was very good for me because I had essentially just taught myself at least how to do a reasonable degree of audio engineering and mixing. This CD that we're playing tonight, Believer, was recorded right here, right in this studio that's now become Pack Stereo TV Studios. It recorded right here. And I mixed it over and over and over again because of the people I worked with. Irvin Foster, I was supposed to be putting some stuff in the chat room. I'm supposed to actually put the call-in number for the show. Let me go to the studio. Maybe I'll get to that in a second. We'll get a call-in number in case Irvin wants to give us a buzz. So that's tonight's show. Part 1 of the Friday night agenda is tomorrow's Magic Mixtape, and we're streaming live to Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, all over the cyber universe. And we are featuring the music of the Hemsley Foster Project, the first CD that we ever did, Irvin Foster and myself. Now, the first song we played was the title song, Believer. Now, people have been asking about the vocalist. I'll tell you about that in just a minute. Here's another song from the CD. And remember, we're making all of this available for you free. You can get it today.
See
UCIC. Well, I think this bad boy, a couple $100,000. Hemsley Foster Project, recorded right here. That's the theme tonight, Mario's Magic Mixtape. Showing you the history of Pack Stereo TV. Before we did TV, we were an indie record label. I tell you I didn't know how to end the song. Gotta tell you, one of the most enjoyable things I've ever done to complete this affirmation. I learned how to mix. Y'all don't know how many nights I sat in here with that equipment. UCIC. Big, remember we do the recordings, we jump in the car and it would sound totally different.
Yeah, that's called. Which one is your real monitor, right? Which one is your real monitor?
Monitoring.
Yeah, monitoring.
What the hell do with monitoring?
You get in your car, the bass is heavy.
You get in the car, the track sound all jacked up.
Yeah, man.
They made what a car. We make a tape, sounds good in the studio. We get in the car, go drive around and listen to the music, and it sounds jacked up. Man, it's the faces, huh?
Oh yeah.
Besides how the body heat. Believer. It was a challenge back then. See, folks take it for granted now because the distribution methods exist. But back then, we had to save up, work overtime, do some stuff to get the money to press. The miracle of those days is that affordable pressing had finally arrived. That was the thing of the times. What do I mean? In the times before this, if you wanted to press a cassette or a CD, they would only take orders for like 5,000. Who's going to press 5,000? Mm-hmm. One day, because of improved mechanization of the process, they were willing to press 1,000. Just like one day after that, they were willing to do 500. Until it is today where you can basically get one CD at a time. But that didn't exist before. So we had to do it. We saved up. First we had the cassette series, right, Vic?
Right.
The
Sure
cassette.
did, man.
And in fact, first, in our earliest days, we ran off our own cassettes, right?
Yeah.
Printed labels.
Took all day. Took all day, man.
The indie record label scene, boy, it was wonderful. Again, the wonderful folks that we worked with, the late Cortez Douglas, our good buddy, Eddie Darrell Williams, who's on Facebook there, just it was fun, Vic, right?
Yeah, it was no stress, man. It was all creative,
Robert Pace on bass and guitar. That was Irvin's buddy. Robert flew out, and after meeting him, we then went on the right together. But Robert became an integral part of what we were doing. Like I said, laying both bass and guitar to essentially every track we've done for the most part, right? Paul Russo. We met because of my good buddy Bobby Carson. Paul Russo became the saxophone player that I was always looking for, and has graced, again, almost every piece of work that I have done. Got to send out some shout-outs and some much love to Paul out there on the Facebook thing. And that's that's totally appropriate because this next song was written actually with myself and Gordon Jones, later redone by Irvin Foster and myself. And this song is entitled Funny. Now, this song is an interesting story because the lyrics I wrote as I sat and watched Los Angeles burn during the riots, the Rodney King riots, after the beating, all that. So watching L.A. burn, it was just something else. To be part of that whole... I think it was when they let him off, right? That the riots occurred, Vic.
Yeah.
I think if I remember correct.
Yeah.
So funny. And I was sitting there thinking about how times change and some things just seem to stay the same. Wow. Well, as it turns out, this song was actually chosen to be part of KJLH's indie contest of the time, and actually came in number 2. When I went down to the studio for that show, there's a tape of it somewhere out there of me being down at KJLH. The other group that won, we actually knew from here. They had been here to the house and to the studio, and they were like, Mario. I was like, wow, y'all are young and hip, and my song was jazzy and stuff, but it still ended up being the number 2 track for KJLH. Take a listen right now to Funny. Paul Russo on sax. Foster Project. Again, I wrote this song, mixed it. From the first CD, Hemsley Foster Project. Going live with the Facebook right now with some 360. Yes. Hemsley Foster Project. Mario Hemsley, Irvin Foster. That was the project. Tell you I didn't know how to end the song.
They can't tell.
Okay. Hey, we're getting ready to go live with some 360 virtual reality to Facebook simultaneously as we continue to push the envelope with some of the stream factors that are going on here at Pack Stereo tonight. Remember, it's the Friday night agenda, and at 9 o'clock we have the award-winning I Victor featuring Miko's Challenge. It's going to be right at 9 o'clock, and we're going to be streaming that too in 360. So we're trying to get some of this stuff going. You know, it's touch and go. There's always some technical stuff. So, you know, we'll always experiment. You got to be willing to go with the flow as we are here at Pack Stereo. So the theme for tonight, the first CD we did here at Pack Stereo TV, which we pressed to cassette. Well, remember I told you I had a story to tell you about the vocalist. Why we never mentioned the vocalist on those first 3 tracks. The vocalist on those first 3 tracks goes unmentioned because after, it's a long story, but you know, sometimes the people that you bring in are the ones who end up being kind of the ones who are more demanding and a little bit, and vocalists, you know, it's like the movie stars. It's like even the MCs, right? Everybody with the mic more often have ego issues. But whatever. We did the project, we did the live show, and then right around the time when the CD, we had signed our little agreements, which said it was my obligation. I wrote the agreements up, just looking up stuff on, you know, on the buying books and all that, and basically it just acknowledged that, you know, the work for hire status, and that I was to give her credits and to list her appropriately in the way that she wanted, blah, blah. And she actually came back to me about some years later and really sort of demanded that I remove her name from everything. Everything. Because now she had found her ministry, because she was going to do a ministry. She didn't want people to she didn't want to be associated with this music. And so that's why we don't mention her for those songs. I went back at her wishes, and I did remind her that a part of our agreement was that I had to acknowledge her. But I would most certainly, if she would give me, you know, at her request, remove her. And so that's why you never hear the vocalist mentioned for those 3 songs. Believer, UCIC, or Funny. Oh, no. Well, this next song, I can mention a vocalist to you. And because she was another wonderful collaboration, Pamela Williams. You know, she was just amazing. Came and did some work with Vic. Remember, you used her for your CD. And it was a barter agreement, which goes to show you. You know, what I learned from those early barter agreements is that I would rather just pay you. I would just rather pay you and be done. Because it was a pain. Some stuff was a pain in the butt. But it's a fun memory. But Pamela Williams, who married a man who already had the same last name. Can you imagine that? And the other thing is that she was one of the many people named Williams who was associated with Pack Stereo. Medell Williams, Lorraine Williams, Pamela, all no relation. Wow. What can we say? So we had a bunch. We had a bunch of people with that name. And I forgot, Eddie Darrell Williams. So how many is that? So we had a bunch of Williams. Well, here's Pamela Williams in a song that I wrote again. This one I wrote with Irvin. Spiritual track, again, that's why it's on The Believer. It's called Listen He Calls, and it's really about the way that God speaks to us, whispers to us. That was the idea of the lyrics. Most of this CD, which people really didn't realize was really sort of spiritually based in terms of the journey and what it represented for Irvin and I. We'll take a listen to Listen He Calls, and on this one, you got Paul Russo again, this time on soprano sax. Recorded right here, Pack Stereo TV, in my little studio. Here's Listen He Calls. Listen He Calls. Pam Williams on vocals, Robert Pace on bass, guitar, Irvin Foster on keyboards always, Paul Russo on soprano sax. Recorded right here at Pack Stereo TV. I'm so proud of this CD. And remember, I told everybody, as part of the Creative Commons movement, which is a movement where artists are making music of theirs available for you to download and share with your friends, free of charge, while retaining their commercial rights. We are making most of this music. In fact, this whole CD is available for your free download. You got to go to the SoundCloud. I posted it in there. Pack Stereo, it's SoundCloud SoundCloud.com/Pack Stereo. Go there and get some of the music free. We're making it available to you. All part of that Creative Commons movement, which is making so much of the music of indie artists available to you. This whole show has been dedicated to the first CD of Pack Stereo TV. It's part of the series that we were requested to do to show people about our early history, that Pack Stereo was an independent music label well before we did independent television. Even though we were one of the first on YouTube, we were one of the first using Twitter. In fact, Facebook reminded me I joined in 2007. We've been around. Pack Stereo. So now Pack Stereo is internet television, but we're showing you the early days when we were just cutting our teeth. And this, again, is the first CD, Believer, by the Hemsley Foster Project. Another vocalist was our good buddy, Edward Simpson. One of Irvin's good buddies. But all Irvin's friends came to L.A. They recorded with us. All that Muskegon, Grand Rapids group, bunch of folks, they came out here and recorded. We ended up doing a CD for Edward Simpson called One Touch. That's available for you free too. Go check that out. Get that stuff up on SoundCloud. But I love working with Ed. This one, I went to pick him up in the valley, and in the process of driving him back to the studio, I always like to give him a prep, because to me it makes a difference. I don't know. I know how other people do it. But I tell the folks what I was thinking about when I wrote the song. And this song was part of Believer, and it's a spiritual song because it's one of those redemption kind of thank you for sticking with me. And for me, it was a conversation between, again, me and God, where I was essentially thanking for sticking with me. You never gave up on me, and I'll never give up on you. And I told Ed, I said, well, I purposely wrote the lyrics like a bunch of my songs to be ambiguous in terms of who or what I am talking to. But it's something emotional in spirit involving love. Being the person that he was with that whole gospel base that he and Irvin came from, this was an easy song for him to relate to. Take a listen, Never Give Up by the Hemsley Foster Project. Edward Simpson on vocals.
Sitting, waiting, anticipating, waiting for my time to be with you. I can't wait, I only want to hold you. Day in, day out, don't want no way out. I found a home, I found it here with you. You can't lose me. Take this love and use me. I remember when I was no one. You came to lift me. It's you who saw me through. Now I'm stronger, feeling so much better. You never gave up on me. I'll never give up on you. Never give up, never give up, never give up on you. Never give up, never give up, never give up on you. Never give up, never give up, never give up on you. Never give up, never give up on you. No more fight. finally found what faith can do. You have changed me. Your words have rearranged me. Now I'm growing, comes from nowhere. Such a love that flows from you. Brand new day now. You have shown the way how. I remember through all the hard times how you would hold me. It was all that you could do. Now I'm happy here to see I love you, yeah. You never gave up on me. I never give up on you. I remember
That's right.
when I was no one, when I was no one. You came to lift me, you came to lift me. It was you who saw me through, saw me through. Now I'm stronger, stronger than I've ever been before.
Right.
Feeling so much better, better than I've ever been before. Oh, never give up, never give up, never give up on you. Never give up, never give up, never give up on you. Never give up, never give up, never give up on you. Never give up, never give up on you. Ooh, I want to thank you for your love, and what you done for me, I was lost and found, You rearranged me, you rearranged me. You gave me love, and so much peace, Your love,
Never give up.
Your love.
Hemsley Buster Project. Yes. Saying thank you. Most time. Hemsley Buster Project. First CD, Believer. Wow. Hemsley Foster Project. Never give up. Hey, that was our good buddy Marvin Smith. Just came in. For all those years, I always say 14. I think it's 15.
15 and a half.
There you go. See, I always messed it up. The drummer of the Tonight Show and my official brother from another mother. Always good to see you, Smitty.
That's
What's
on this
happening?
side, over here.
Yeah. Hey.
There you go, man.
Over here, right here. Oh,
There he
hey,
is.
peoples.
What's
Oh,
up,
Pack Stereo Land fans, appreciate you, man. 420 celebration, y'all.
And if you don't smoke, 210.
Yeah,
You
210.
know, the trip is that most of my friends don't smoke. I told them all. I said, it's pretty much me.
Yeah.
You know, even my women, they don't really, you know, I'm just, in the past. I
Hey,
said
but we
that
don't
as
slow
a-
anybody's roll, though.
No.
That
No,
didn't sound exactly the way I want. Anyway, so now I got to play for you probably my most special song. And you know, it's so funny. We did a lot of programming back then. Smitty, I so wish
What's
that
that?
I had known and been able to afford a drummer like you.
Well, you know, hey, I ain't cheap, but I'm reasonable,
Yeah.
Mario. You know that.
Maybe for the future, you
Well, the
can-
hometown discount applies here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, now I can do it. Back then, I didn't know you and I couldn't do it back. See, now I can afford. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
In the early days, it was hard, you know, to even get in that world of knowing the musicians and getting the people. And so a lot of the drum tracks were programmed. That's the one person we never did have here.
Yeah, right. Hey, if I would have known you when I moved out here in '95, man, I wish we would have hooked up back then, man. That would have been beautiful.
That would have been wonderful. Who knows what stuff we'll do? I tell Smitty all the time. I still say one day we'll do something. We're going to be recording something because there's just too much stuff out there. And again, you know, his degree of professionalism is so hard to find, and I'm so blessed to have him as my buddy. So.
Hey, likewise, you guys, man. You guys are professionals from the ground up, man. That's even more remarkable.
And we care about him so great that I cook for him. So.
Yeah. Hey, just show me the chicken, Mario. You know.
I make some chicken.
Don't even. Just go straight to the
I'm making
chicken.
some chicken.
Oh my God.
That's how you know if I care.
Oh man.
Hey, it's all good, bro. Appreciate you, fam.
All right. Well, the whole theme for the show tonight, Mario's Magic Mixtape, is the first CD ever done here at Pack Stereo TV, recorded right here in this studio. The CD that I did on an 8-track, actually 7 tracks with a sync track, everything synced up MIDI. I mixed it and recorded, so it's so different. I mean, well, it was our early days.
Right.
But this next track is perhaps my favorite of all the songs I have written. It features that unnamed vocalist once again. And it's actually a song I wrote for myself.
Is that for contractual reasons?
For contractual reasons.
Damn, man.
I understand.
Yeah, I would do it, but she,
Oh boy.
whatever.
Never mind. I'm sure it's a long story.
It's a long story.
Yeah.
The song's entitled Maybe Today. And I actually wrote the lyrics. Irvin did the music. I did the and then we recorded it here. And I actually wrote the song, the lyrics, to sort of cheer me up at a time that was a difficult time for me. I don't feel like this anymore, so when I listen to it, though, it does sometimes tend to make me feel emotional, but mostly because when you are no longer in those hard times, and you get reminded, you take a deep breath and say thank you.
Yeah.
That I'm not in that hard time.
Exactly.
But maybe today is for all those people struggling with their own personal demons. It's my song that's like that. I bled into it, as they say. And here's Maybe Today.
Maybe today. Maybe today is the day. Maybe
at the time I described as aggressive. Mixing, I used to say I would mix like you would want to turn your old time stereo. So you always had the back, we had the bottom up, kind of up there. Old school brother mix.
Yeah, right. Plenty of bass.
Aggressive.
Yeah. Booming system.
What I learned to do is go for the hip hop mix, which is where the kick is up front. In the days of funk, the bass would be up front.
Right.
And I backed the bass off just behind the kick, but still pretty loud.
Yeah, it's still present.
And then, and that was my version of the hip hop kind of thing with the old school.
Right.
Size out of body heat. You're listening to Mario's Magic Mixtape. Streaming live to Facebook. Doing live 360 at the same time. Thank you for tuning in so far. It's been a wonderful night. Remember, at 9 o'clock we have the award-winning I Victor. I know it's award-winning because I gave it the award.
And nobody else
One
can
of those
get it.
in-house awards, it's kind of. But I would give out more awards, but I couldn't find those chocolate Easter bunnies. So it's like,
I'm gonna go ahead and do a little intervention here because I did check it. Unfortunately, you guys, there was maybe a Facebook issue with the audio, but I checked our feeds at other locations and the audio's fine.
Okay.
But at Facebook, there's an echo coming back, so I put in the optional link for you guys to go in.
Service, that's
so there's a problem. I checked it. Thank you, Alan Santana, for actually bringing it up.
Right. I know
So
what that is.
you know what it is. So just so you know. Yeah, I just want you to know that there are options that you can go to as well. So just letting you know. But thank you for the FYI.
I'm going to try to change it right now. See if it gets better. But it was a bobbity-dobbity-dob testing. Well, that goes to show you. Well, anyway, we deal here at Pack Stereo. It's one of those things. Main broadcast screen system, audio capture. Well, what can we say? We're working on that. Streaming live in all these formats. Part of the issue was, I don't know about you guys, but these Windows updates have been amazing.
Yes, they have.
And we keep having them as part of our daily situation. We'll get the other files uploaded for you. But again, we want to thank you for tuning in for tonight. Remember, we invite you to enjoy the mix, enjoy the music. We'll be back with Victor Allen and Miko's Challenge coming up at 9 o'clock. And we're sure that you enjoy that. Here we go.
Something your mind can feel. A broadcast machine, 24/7 days a week. A social media stream. We are not corporate. We're indie to the core, free to do our own thing. We are who we are, and we are Pack Stereo. We are the new view. We are Pack Stereo. We are the new view. We are Pack Stereo. We are the new view. We are Pack Stereo. We are the new view. We are Pack Stereo. We are